Okay, all right. So, welcome to our last LAX group discussion video number 6 for LAX2047 Poetic Society. My name is JERIL Jacob. My matrix number is 202689.
My name is WANPING. My matrix number is 201674.
My name is MOHD bin JAAFRI. My matrix number is 200673.
Is ALINA binti Mama AZLAN, and my matrix number is 193365.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
It's a bit more louder, Kamarina. I can't hear you.
Huh?
We can? Okay, can.
Louder.
Hello. Continue.
Bit more louder.
Hello. My name is SYAZWANI. My matric number is 194251.
My name is ISMA UZAYR bin Muhammad ZAMRI. My matric number is 200600.
Okay. So this is our group video discussion number 6, and we'll be choosing our favorite moves among the 2 global issues that we have discussed. So to summarize our for the past 6 weeks, we have discussed about how we talked about the global warming and wildlife, which are the main global issues that have destroyed our Earth. So global warming and wildlife are the main subtopics we have chosen for this Poetic Society group. And among those 4 poems, each group has to come up with 1 poem issue. So there are 2 groups. So each group will come up with global warming and wildlife poem. So for me personally, among the 4, which I like the most is about the wildlife, about Save the Wildlife, which group 1 has created, which is me, ISMA and KAMARINA. So for me personally, why I like a lot of meaning in terms of how we as human beings are the destroyers of this wildlife, because that poem discusses about how this earth was so green and so peaceful in a time where humans are so lovable to nature. They like nature a lot until one day they just decided to ignore the fact that nature is a part of them. So that poem has 2 parts. They talk about nature, where it's a very savoring and green place for animals and humans to explore. The second part of the poem discusses about how humans are also the destroyer of this wildlife. Because in the poem discusses, we can see in the poem it says, see the baby seals running, see, and it discusses about how different animals live in different lifestyles, and how humans, in the end, they cut down trees and destroy the animals' habitat. They kill animals due to illegal poaching, and it describes it so well. So from that poem, it really strikes me, and I understand the poem truly because it clearly describes how this 21st century is developing and how we as humans are responsible for the death of millions of animals. So that's my personal view. What about you, Isma?
Okay, for me, based on the 4 poems that we already created, for my opinion, the best poem among the 4 is Save the Wildlife too, same as JERIL. Choose that because the ways how the message that inside the poems. It's the message inside the poem. We could see that it's clearly not too many hidden message. It's just a direct message. Tell the people how the animal live before humans try to kill them, and how what after the consequences after what happened, humans kills them. So other than that, the reason is the structure of the poems. The structure of the poem is well structured, as we said before, and there is a sum of metaphor. You could see that in the first stanza of the poems. If we remember, the first stanza tell us about how the animal live. The next is the structure is trying to stay by try something like the poem start try to, and then try to closely going into more deeper, which is into a dark side of what happens to animals. In that, we know that people kills animals and catch them sometimes for entertainment, and either they just try to poaching the animal just for hobby. And lastly is the message on the third stanza. If we remember, the message that's that in the third stanza is tell us that what happens if the animals are in extinctions. So there are many happens, such as for further generations, they may not see what we already see right now. For examples, like we know like rhinoceros. There are few rhinoceros right now happen to claim as in dangerous situations. So that's why I chose the poems. So how about you, Isyraf?
Thank you, Isma. For me, in my opinion, the poem that I would choose as the best is poem with the title of Global Warming from Group 2, which was written by me, ISYRAF, WANPING, and ALINA. First of all, the reason why I choose this poem is because the words and message that has been used in this poem is clear, memorable, and it also gives a concrete image to make a point. After all, global warming is one of the most distressed phenomena in the history of the Earth, and I think this issue is very important for us. For me, I judge a poem by how the poem gives us underlying thought. Some poems are written to create a picture only, but the most memorable poems also convey a universal truth to create about the human condition. Like this poem, it not only shows what happening to the nature and earth, it also tells what humans do that cause global warming to occur nowadays. For me, a good poem leave me with goosebumps along with my arm. From this poem, we can actually experience a strong emotion, and then we can also receive an insight and wish to capture the experience in the words of this poem. And then the reason why I choose this poem is because it is well structured and have a lot of deep meaning for us to understand. Uh, the the poem actually give us a big warning about how dangerous global warming are, which mean we have to start to take action now. It trying to tell us it trying to tell us that it is better late than never. If we all take steps today, we will have much brighter future tomorrow. That's another main ideas of what this poem is and what the message it trying to tell us. And then this poem was created for me was created with perfect word choice. It demonstrates excellent command of diction and syntax. As example, in the stanzas, it leaves Mother Earth crying with agonizing pain. We could actually imagine and picture what actually happening to the Earth. Another stanza is the changes to leave us all in sorrow and dismay. The ideas what this poem trying to tell us and express can be understood clearly, and it gives a very strong image of the meaning of global warming. So that's all for me. How about Alina?
Thank you, Ishraf. For me, firstly, overall, I think all poems are good and get the message across. As the reader and as the person that created the poem, I think every of us can understand the message that we want to send to the readers. So, similar to Ishraf, based on my preference poem on global warming, because I like the language used in this poem. I especially love the line on Mother Nature can't do it all, but why can't we give her a rest? So that is my favorite line from this poem. I think this line really speaks to the readers that that is the only way we can get this problem end, by playing our role as the consumers. And next, I think the transition or each line to another line is really nicely done. We can really relate it from one line to line what the poems want us as the reader to be understand. The message we can clearly be seen. Yeah, I think that's all for me. How about you, Kamarina?
I'm also agree with Alina and Ishraf, where they decided the global warming that had been created by the group 2 is the best poem. What I love about this poem is each stanza has a own story, where the first stanza state about what happening currently, and the next stanza a way to overcome this issue. And this poem is suitable to all generation, to the older and to the children, as it not too complicated to understand, and to the children also it can beneficial as they put ways to overcome that the children need to apply from their early age, such as in the second stanza at the line, why we burn those trash instead of recycle, and why we use a car when we can use a bicycle. Those two lines is my favorite in this poem. So I think the global warming created by the group 2 is the best poem among the other. However, the other also have their own what you call uh, uh, their own specialties. That's all from me. I pass to WANPING. What do you want to say about the other poem?
Okay, for me, I think these four poems are all good, and these two themes are also very meaningful. Global warming and wildlife are closely related to our lives and are also important issue affecting the world. So I like the last one the most. The content of is very exciting, and it also tells us doesn't to kill wild animal, and the first poem in the sorry is also very good. It tells us to pay attention to problem of global warming. We can drive less and work more to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. So, and this LAX activity is very interesting. The poem are also very interesting. I also improved my English, and I'm glad to see you guys. So finally, I want to say thank you guys. Thank you for helping me. That's all from me.
Okay, I think we can fairly agree the life poem and the global warming poem is very good. But I think the majority of us agree that global warming created by Group 2 is the best among the poems that we have created over the past 6 weeks, right? So I think, Isma, we can agree on that. Global warming is the best poem.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I think, yeah, it's a very good poem because it discusses about our generation currently, where the main line it says, "He leaves Mother Earth crying with agonizing pain." And the last lines it says, "Why we use a car when we can use a bicycle?" So I think this poem clearly explains how we should protect our Earth and how that we as humans are responsible to take care of this Earth so that it doesn't go into ashes or it doesn't go into waste and into the future. Because our younger generation, like us, or maybe our so-called generation after that, may want to use this earth. So we have to be careful from now on what we do, on the actions we take in order to protect this earth. So I think we can fairly say that Group 2, which created the global warming poem, is the best for our poetic society. We all agree on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we adopt. We
So
agree.
anything else anyone want to add?
No.
Nothing?
And this is the end of our discussion and our cooperation in this lab. So I would like to say thank you for all of you who already did a great cooperation and for this lex. So that's all for me.
Yeah. So I would like to say thank you to all of you also for participating in these 6 videos together. And thank you for the nice poems about wildlife and global warming. So I think that's all from me. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
and see you all.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.